Welcome back to Alabama Care, everybody. I'm Sarah Williams, and today I have Davina Patterson and Sam Johnston. Davina Patterson is from Disability Rights Network, and Sam Johnston is from
Everybody, I'm Sarah Williams Johnston. Davina Patterson is from Disability Rights Network.
Sorry. And Sam Johnston is from Arbour Mills, I believe. If y'all could introduce
Arbour
yourselves.
Valley.
More.
Arbour Valley.
Arbour Valley. I'm sorry. Right. If y'all can introduce yourselves.
Okay, actually, there are three of us here. Sam Johnston, I'm with Arbour Valley Communities. I'm on the development side and would be delighted to discuss any aspect of that. And I have two knowledgeable people from Arbour Valley Management, Stephanie Tenney, the president, Deborah Kinder, who's in charge of our compliance officer, who will be the feet on the street once we're built and have our residents living there at the development. And would you like more of a just overall? We've been in business. I don't know.
Absolutely.
We've been in business for 15, 18 years. We've developed about 3,000 units in the state of Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. Principally, we're in the affordable housing realm with utilizing tax credits, which is the same. Really is one of our pillars of financing for the development we're talking about today. Arbour's at Moore's Mill would be the LIHTC, low-income housing tax credit. So we're largely focused on that, and we do both family and senior developments. And as you know, Moore's Mill, it will be a senior development up there in Huntsville. We manage about what, Stephanie? Over 5,000 units. How many?
Yeah, about 5,500 units in Alabama, Florida, North and South Carolina, and Georgia.
Wow.
So we know what we're doing, or at least think we know what we're doing. That was a joke.
I'm excited to learn more about it. Ms. Patterson, if you would introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Davina Patterson, Executive Director for Disability Resource Network. We're the newly established Center for Independent Living in Alabama. We service the North Alabama region of the state. So we're located in Huntsville, Alabama, but we do service 13 counties in North Alabama.
And did you say what specifically you do?
Oh, yes. We provide independent living services to people with disabilities.
Gotcha. Okay, so I like to start my broadcast off with icebreaker questions. And one of the major things that everybody has asked when they go into Alabama, whether you're visiting or you're moving there, is who's your team? So, Auburn or Alabama?
It's a blend.
It's a blend.
Sam, you go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, the good news is both teams are in the basketball tournament, which is awesome. I'm an Auburn guy myself.
All right.
We're Eagle.
It's okay.
I do not come from Alabama, so I really don't have any allegiance, but I have to lean towards Alabama because that's where both of my sons-in-law enjoy watching. But Auburn's a cool team too. I have to say that since Sam's in the room.
Yeah, she's our diplomat.
Well, I'm Auburn, so it's War Eagle for me.
War Eagle.
There, I knew I liked you.
I knew we were going to get along just perfectly.
I went to Auburn Montgomery for college, so
Okay.
There we go.
So we know where
Um,
you're rooting for.
exactly.
Yeah,
Let's see.
you can go either way.
So let's talk a little about this MOU, I think is what it's called, for these
Yes.
apartments. So what was the process of getting that?
I'll let you answer that.
Well, whenever we establish an MOU with partnership, it falls on my part of the organization to search out and find an organization to do that with. And so I just knew the property was in Huntsville, so I started researching online for resources for people with disabilities in the Huntsville area. And the Disabilities Resources Network came up, and I contacted Davina, I believe by email or phone, one or the other, and we just talked it through, and we had a little Zoom call with all the board members and realized that it was going to be a good partnership, a good fit. We were looking for referrals for people who need housing, and we have 6 units in Arbour's at Moore's Mill, or will have, that would be appropriate uh, for people to rent. That would be referred by the DRN group. So we ended up, after further discussion, signing a memorandum of understanding, or MOU, together. And we do this with not every property, but we do have several MOUs across the multiple states with different properties. But this is our first one with Davina and her organization.
Awesome. Did you want to say anything, Davina?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Deborah, she absolutely hit it head on. She contacted me. It was by phone first, Deborah. She contacted me by phone, and she was speaking of the urgency of the MOU, and I said, well, let's can send it to me in writing so I can review it and talk with some of my board members and staff members, and let's see how it goes. And then once I sent it out to the board members, the staff, they all thought it was great, but they had some questions. So I contacted Deborah, and I invited her to a Zoom call to see if we can talk and get our questions answered. And we really enjoyed the conversation. It sounded like it was a good fit. So we made a decision to enter the MOU.
And how long would you say that actually took?
She needed a quick turnaround. So she did,
Right.
like I said, she did express to me the urgency of getting the MOU signed. She told me if at any time that we changed our mind or didn't want to proceed with the process, that we could be released from the MOU. But like I said, it was a unanimously vote with the board members, the staff, and myself, and we thought that it would be a good fit. And so we took the opportunity, and we did share with her that, a part of independent living, we are consumer control. So we do want to be a part of the process, as far as maybe touring the units or any type of advice or counsel we can give on ADA compliance, and how we intend on being involved and active on the property as far as providing independent living services, independent living skills to the consumers that would be residents of the location.
Gotcha. Let's see.
So it just flowed. I mean, it was just natural. No pushback, anything like that. Everybody's been great.
Good.
This is my first time meeting Sam, but we also talked through email.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
I was wondering if y'all had actually met, or if this was like a online thing so far.
Well,
I think this
met
is
Deborah.
typical of. Go ahead.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
was just
Davina.
saying, No, I was just saying Deborah was the person that made the initial contact. So she was probably the first person that I met virtually. Haven't met anybody in person. This is my first time actually interacting with Sam outside of email. So
Gotcha.
And it seems like during these COVID times, this is the way a lot of business is being conducted. Just
Right. Mm-hmm.
yes.
we're all eager to get back to the face without a doubt. And
Right.
it'd be good for that
Yeah,
to happen.
Yes.
yeah, that's, yeah. We're all looking forward to that. Um, so let's talk about the
Imagine
referral process. Do what? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I imagine once the opening of the property is imminent, we might meet in person at that
Gotcha.
time at
Maybe
the
the grand
property.
opening.
Yeah, at the grand opening, right? We always have the grand
Absolutely.
opening
We'll
and
be
invite
there.
community members, so we'd love to have you join us then.
We'll be there.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about what the referral process looks like.
Okay. Basically, the way it works is once we have units available, we will notify in writing to Davina, probably email, so we have the email trail. That works best. Historically, that has worked best. And we will say, Davina, we've got, for example, a 2-bedroom downstairs apartment. It's sensory, hearing and sensory impaired, as well as accessible. Do you have anybody? And then she has a 30-day window to respond. And she may send somebody within, email back and say, oh yes, I've got John Jones. He's ready and he fits perfectly. He has the need. And so John Jones would come, we would try to qualify him, and hopefully he would qualify. We do have a credit and criminal screening that we go through, and we do previous landlord checking and things like that, just standard apartment checks. And then as long as everything goes through, he would be qualified for that apartment based on his income also. That tax credit has income requirements as well. And then we would work to get him into the apartment. If for some reason he did not qualify, for whatever the reason was, and it's on, say, day 10 of the 30-day period, then we still have 20 more days that we would wait so that Davina could still offer another referral. Or she may call or email and say, hey, I've got 2 or 3 people that are looking for apartments, to the property manager that is going to be running it, and say, and the property manager might respond, well, I don't have anything right now, but I'm going to have 2 next month and 1 the following month. And we'll see if it's a fit, if it works out, it's the right size, right price, and all of that. And so it's just an ongoing conversation through email, and calls may be made as well. And that's how we work through it. We keep a log of what people we process and what the result was, if they moved in, if they were denied, or if they decided maybe this isn't the place for me after all, for whatever reason. We document all that and keep a running log on that. And we do share that with the auditors when they come to audit our processes, which is like every 3 years. They look at it just briefly. It's not they just want to make sure we are tracking it. But that's basically how the process works.
Gotcha.
And it's worked very well with connecting the right housing with the people that need it in the past.
Good. Good. Yeah, I'm like going through something like that because I'm in a wheelchair. I got super excited when I saw the 6 units would be wheelchair accessible. Because I am looking for an apartment right now. And it is almost impossible.
I
Well,
definitely know what you're
still
saying.
looking.
We get those
Right.
calls
And
all the time. So
well, that's exciting to
Yeah.
us because we want to have a partner that will be able to refer people to us so that we can meet their needs as well as our commitments to provide the
Right.
housing.
Right. I have actually not recently, but have moved to Georgia, and that's where I live now. And I have found one apartment that is actually like wheelchair accessible,
Yeah.
and I'm on a waiting list for it.
What part of Georgia?
Rome.
Okay.
We're not there, but
Yeah, I
we have, we have properties in Georgia being built, so that's why I ask.
really.
In Covington, Georgia, we broke ground in Villa Rica,
Ooh,
and in Kingsland.
Kingsland.
Yeah.
awesome. I've been to Villarica.
Well, come on back in about
About a year.
a year and a half.
Covington's opening in the next couple of weeks, though, in case that's something.
Gotcha. Let's see. So,
I was just going to add that Sarah, we're aware of that, issue. So that's why when we saw this opportunity, we definitely jumped on it.
right.
As a Center for Independent Living, we want to make sure that we get people with disability housing, accessible and affordable housing as much as we can, because that is probably one of our number one call.
I can see that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see. So that brings me to my next question. Why do you think housing is such a big need?
Well, I'll say, as far as consumers and home ownership and how everything's going, that's probably, your transportation and your housing is probably your most expensive asset or
Mm-hmm.
your largest purchase. And
Right.
we're just in this critical time where the economy is up and down, and sometimes people don't, especially people with disabilities, they don't have the income to support,
Mm-hmm.
um, financially support, buying a home or getting affordable housing that's in a safe location. So you'll see a lot of people living with other people, or there's a large homeless rate as well. People just aren't finding housing. So I would say that your house, your car, those are probably your main biggest purchase, your assets that you have.
Right.
Yeah, and I would say this is Stephanie. There's such a shortage of housing, period, and there's such a shortage of affordable housing. You're just going to see
Mm-hmm.
this the developments as long as we can keep pricing at bay. You're going to see in all different locations, and specifically to the affordable housing arena, which
Right.
all of the newer developments are going to have, a certain number of handicap accessible apartments that would fit, the needs of many people. So I
Right.
think you're going to see more of that coming.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And I don't even live in Alabama anymore.
Oh, wow. I think we all are. And, at some point, we hope realtors will work with the nonprofits as well. A lot of,
Yeah.
I know the different housing, I'm sorry, the apartments, but a lot of people want to have home ownership. And so hopefully the
Right.
realtors will start working with some of the nonprofits and centers for independent living, in your charitable organizations on, maybe moving people into actual homes instead of apartments.
Right.
And that's going to be a big, a big shift for us if we
Oh,
can do
yeah.
that. I think, yeah.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so here's another big thing for not necessarily me, but other people that I know. Transportation. If they do get an apartment, transportation like around the apartments, because some aren't gonna have their own vehicle or
Mhm.
anything.
Well, I know our office is located near a bus line. I haven't viewed this property. Sam, Deborah, do you guys know if the property is located near a bus line or public transportation?
Yeah, we're required to be within a certain distance of public transportation, but as far as how close in proximity that is, I'm not sure.
Okay.
We, you know, we could, depending on, it's not a requirement for us, but we would absolutely, if there's a need for that, explore options that would help our residents without question.
Gotcha. Let's see. So, what is the cost for rent and like other services at the apartments?
This would be right there.
So let's see, our one bedrooms would begin at 545. Now these are rents stated as of now.
Okay.
They may change a little bit, in a year, but the the one bedroom, one bath at 60% qualification would be 750. The two bedroom, two bath at 50% would be at 625, and then the two bedroom, two bath at 60% would be 850. Did I say that right? 50% and 60% are the two ranges.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, if you have referrals, people who may have housing vouchers of some sort, say a Section 8 housing voucher or a VASH
Mm-hmm.
housing voucher, we work with those organizations as well.
Okay.
Well, that's
You
that's
actually just
very
answered
good
my
to
next
know.
question.
Yeah, that's good to know because we actually are working with the city of Huntsville. The Huntsville Housing Authority are providing emergency housing vouchers. So once the property gets in place, we'll be a referral agency for that program as well. So we'll need to work with the landlord to see if they'll accept those vouchers.
We will accept those vouchers typically. If it's a housing choice voucher, we do accept those.
Okay, I'll make sure I get that to our contact as well, so they can know that we can send some of our referrals over as well. And
Sounds
Yeah,
Deborah,
great.
that
did you
was.
say for our consumers, there's no application fee or deposit? Is that correct?
There
Would it be waived
is
or?
there is a deposit and there is an application fee, I believe. I don't think the MOU requires us to waive those.
Okay.
Um, but in lease up, I can't even quote you what the prices would be because it depends on what the market is at that time. But typically, the deposit is around 250, depending on what the credit standing is. That's the average, and then the application fee is usually around $50. It's a one-time fee. The security deposit would be refundable if they ever moved, if the apartment was in, good standing. If they have um, if they were to have a pet, not in a support animal, but a pet, there is a non-refundable pet fee. But if it is an emotional support animal or a service animal, there is no fee associated with that.
Okay.
Let's see. So when would the units be available to be moved into? Sorry, I can't talk today.
I would a year and a half is what I would say roughly.
Okay.
We're still finalizing all the sources of financing, pulling those together, and we're anticipating closing here in the next couple of months. It's taken a little longer than normal now because you may be aware that the construction has really mushroomed, the cost of construction, just like a lot of things we're seeing
Mm-hmm.
around the country. So we're working through all those issues, and once we're closed, so you know, in brief, probably a year and a half, something like that, will be built.
Good. Gotcha.
And you know what? I will say, just you know, I should have said earlier, when we talk about sources of financing, if it, Alabama Housing is providing the lion's share of the financing. They're federal tax credits that we get through the housing agency that we sell to an investor, and the investor makes an investment in the development. That's the primary source of financing. We also borrow money. We'll have a loan like another property. Because it's affordable, we do not take on as big a mortgage, and hence we can offer more affordable rents, and we have to because of tax credits. But the one main point I wanted to make is the city of Huntsville did provide some funds as well. They provided $320,000 worth of home funds, which are also very important to the development, and we appreciate the city's support.
Awesome. So what type of services are going to be provided in the units once it's actually built? Or have y'all gotten that far yet?
They're built based on ADA requirements. We whatever the most current requirements are, that's what the contractors build the properties with. And we do have resident services that we do at no cost to all of our residents. And of course, any resident, whether they're in a handicapped unit or not, would be welcome to participate in those. And there will be some things on amenities on site.
Yeah, I don't know what those amenities quite are yet.
No.
Typically, it would be like a business center and a fitness center, hopefully a pool. I usually sometimes lose that battle. But generally speaking, there's probably a pool. Let's see. There is no pool. I lost this battle too, I guess. But there's a picnic area, pavilion, and in terms of the interior of the units, I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're asking, but they're going to be more modern. They'll look nice with the, most up to date color pattern and nice countertops, nice cabinetry. Like it looks really like a very nice market rate unit that you would want to move into. So we actually have a decorator that comes in and specifies all of those, the colors and all the fun stuff, the flooring, the 2-inch blinds on the windows. So it'll be nice. It will not look like a typical, what people may consider as affordable housing. It will be very nice. The quality of the work is very good.
Right.
And Davina, I shared with you our website for Arbour Valley Communities as well as some of other properties. And if you want to share that with Sarah, then she can see also how beautiful our properties are. I mean, I'm so proud of all of them because we not only build beautiful properties, we maintain them that way throughout the life of the
Good.
property.
Yeah, I was going to add that Deborah did send a link to the website where I could view the different locations, and they are very nice very nice units, very nice properties, and we're just as pleased and proud to be a part of the project as well. But when you were talking about services, I did speak with Deborah, and as soon as they get a property manager on site. We're going to talk about maybe doing peer support on site, on campus, and maybe some independent living skills training. That's something that we would like to do at the property in like a community room or a, a training room. They
Right.
have like
Yeah,
a
we will have
clubhouse.
those. We'll have that for you too. Yes. A
Okay.
community room with a clubhouse and a business center, a meeting area that would be available for those training facilities.
Mhm.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and we often,
Awesome.
depending on what's committed to in the original agreement with the state, we often provide other types of classes like uh, budgeting classes or extreme couponing or how to,
Financials.
yeah, financial type of
Tax
thing,
returns.
tax returns. We may have a dentist come in and offer, free toothbrush and talk about dental health. I mean, we have a variety of things that we do at all of our different properties. And for our residents to attend, and it does not cost the resident anything.
I may need to move in over there.
That's what I was just thinking.
Oh my goodness, I could benefit from some of that. Have to get me keep my house, but get me a apartment also.
And like I said, I'm trying to move out of my parents' house. I can move back to Alabama. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you can go. We're all trying to move in now.
Absolutely.
I think we had some questions come up on Facebook. Let's see. Betty Moore said, "Great point, Davina, regarding realtors. That would be great."
It would be. I think that's something that
Hmm.
we probably need to put in our
Need to look into.
goal. Yeah.
um,
Just want to say, hey,
Tony
Betty.
and
Betty's one of our board members. So, hey, hello, Betty. Betty Moore. She's one of our board members.
let's see. Tony and Kathy Alsop said, "Is there a website where we can find more information about the development?"
Not yet, but there will be. And as soon as we have that website built, we will share that link with you guys and distribute it to all of your friends and family.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on that. That's usually about 6 months before the development's ready to open. However, there is some information possibly once we get a little further along on the development website that talks a little bit about where the community is in construction. So as soon as we get to the place, we'll share all of that with you guys so you can follow the progress.
That sounds awesome.
It does. Betty Moore also said, "Will there be a waiting list process in place?"
Yes,
Yes.
always.
Right.
Always. Yes, there
There
will
will
be.
be, there will be a waiting list specifically for this MOU, for those 6 units.
Gotcha.
We hope there's a waiting.
Betty.
We hope we have referrals.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
And
we plan on.
I'm sure you will.
going back to when the property will open, we typically start our marketing 90 days beforehand. Stephanie could probably talk to this better than I can.
It's usually about 120 days before we're projected to get the first building delivered.
Right, and then we start our lease up, 60 days or 90 days?
No, 120.
We start leasing up before then. So once we start our lease up, you'll be the first to know because we'll want to get those units rented. So,
Right.
that just to kind of give you a foresight of what the process will look like.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
As we get closer to opening the doors, hopefully when that building is open, we've already got those units filled and any handicap units will already be rented to referrals you've provided. That's our goal.
I love it. I
Awesome.
love it.
Yeah.
It's very great.
Let's see. Betty Moore said hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Betty.
Betty. Hi, Betty.
Emily James said, can individuals on the Medicaid intellectual disability waiver qualify?
I believe so. If they are,
They meet the other qualifications.
yeah, if they meet the other qualifications, I think so.
This is awesome.
Awesome.
I'm glad everyone's interested and engaged in this. This is going to be great. We're anticipating the opening of it, so
Right. And they have to wait a year and a half.
right.
Just keeping the teaser out there for you.
Yes, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, time flies. Definitely.
It does. Let's see. Emily James said, awesome. Let's see. Do you have any upcoming events to
Well,
I guess raise money
yeah.
or
Oh,
just in general?
well, yes, Disability Resource Network, we're always working, always doing something, very active and uh, involved in the community. So we have some upcoming events. We're going to be on Monday, is that March 21st, and Friday, March 25th, we will be working with Madison County Health Department on a vaccine clinic. We'll be volunteering with them. We're also going to have on Wednesday, next Wednesday, March 23rd, we're also going to be doing our quarterly community education training where we will have a workshop on the basics of ADA. A lot of the agencies and organizations in our area, they want to be compliant, ADA compliant, but they just need to know the basics of it. So we will be holding that workshop on Wednesday. The presenter will be the Southeast ADA Center. So those are some upcoming events. We also will be working on a barrier free. Our center will be hosting a barrier free vaccine clinic on our campus with Alabama A&M Mobile Vaccine Unit. We just got to secure a date. So that's what we're working on right now. And more to come, more to come. We'll have to sign you guys up for our newsletter so you can stay in the know of what we're doing and the progress that we're making. Y'all have anything you're working on, Deborah, Sam? Anything coming up besides Moore's Mill?
Not related to Moore's Mill at this time.
We have
Okay.
various properties in various stages of construction and rollout. We've got, like we said, Covington, Georgia. We're about to open the doors there in a few weeks, and
Kingsland will be right behind that,
Kingsland,
down in the
Georgia.
southeast corner of Georgia.
We're building property in Louisiana.
We're trying to get closer to Rome, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I guess I can wait. Let's see. We had a couple more questions come in. What zip code will this property be in? From Amber Taylor.
3001. No, I'm not sure.
Is that right? Well, you know, Alabama A&M's right up there.
Right.
Where is that zip code?
I'm sorry, I had the wrong. I was thinking of Covington. I'm not sure of this one. Something 058.
It's in the northeast part of the city. I don't know the zip code.
Do we have an address? We could.
I can go
It
look.
might be
I have it
Yeah.
in my
somewhere
office.
in here.
I have the address. I think it's
Okay.
Marcus Byers. Is that right?
Myers Road.
Mm-hmm. So it's
So yeah, right off of
We can always put it in like the chat
I
or
can go
something later.
look at it real quick if you want me to. And,
I think so. You think it'll come up here?
maybe, I don't know.
Marcus Byers Drive Northeast, near intersection of Moore's Mill and northeast of Winchester Road. You would think they would have,
Zip code.
Have
yeah.
it on
The zip code.
Tell them to add it to it next time.
All right.
Betty Moore asked if it was 35811.
It sounds familiar.
We'll take her word for it. All right, I think I got it. Hold on. It's never been so hard. Oh, there we go.
It is.
I got 35811.
That's
That's
it.
right.
See?
358.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what Betty said. Thank you,
Hey,
Betty.
she knows her
Always.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's why she's a board member. Betty knows her stuff. She's our secretary and our treasurer. Thank you, Betty.
Gotcha.
You're always on top of everything.
Thank you, Betty.
Let's see. Tony and Kathy Alsop said, sorry if I missed this, but will the units be 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom?
Both 1 and 2 bedrooms.
Both of them. Okay. Betty said that she's an AAMU graduate.
All right,
Oh.
those bulldogs. Those bulldogs, they're up here.
Let's see. Okay, so I think that was all my questions. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about or add?
I just think we appreciate the opportunity to work together on this
Absolutely.
development, and it's a long-term relationship that we look forward to, hooking arms and doing some good work together.
Absolutely.
Right.
Same here. I'm just grateful to be a part of this opportunity, and I look forward to working with each one of you and getting some housing for our people with disabilities and some of the homeless people and people that are on the voucher program. I expressed to Deborah when she initially contacted me that I thought that this would be great, and I still feel the same way. And it's going to be good, and hopefully we can get more centers for independent living, not just in Alabama, but throughout the U.S. to start entering into these MOUs, because people with disabilities, they are facing some housing issues. So
Right.
whatever I can do to get the word out or to make that connection, I'm definitely willing to do that.
Excellent. That's good to know, because as we expand and build more properties, I may reach out to you and ask you, about other opportunities for MOUs in different areas if you have a network of people that I could hook up with. Because sometimes it's hard to find a partnership.
It is. And then,
that wants to partner with you.
Yes, I agree. And then the right fit. And I can say that, Centers for Independent Living, we're committed to working with these housing issues. And I know that many of them would be very, very grateful to work with organizations like yours to end or reduce this housing crisis.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for the opportunity to speak with you today too. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
welcome. I'm glad I got to interview y'all.
I'm glad
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. No,
I'm
when
taking
Allison
notes.
came to me, when Alex came to me
It'll be
and
that
asked
much
if I
better
wanted to
meeting
do
in
this
person.
one, when Alex came
Yes,
to me and asked me if I
absolutely.
wanted to do this one, I was like, absolutely.
Well, we're glad you did it. We got to find a way to get some housing in Rome, Georgia now.
We did.
That's
I
right.
agree. I agree. That should be y'all's next one. Just saying.
Put development on it.
Find us a site over there. We'll be there.
Let's see. We had another comment come through. Betty Moore said, Thank you all for working so hard to serve the community. Your services are definitely needed."
I
Aw,
agree.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Betty.
All right.
Okay, if that is it, then I guess I will talk to y'all later.
Okay, great.
All right,
Thank you
nice
for
meeting you,
hosting.
Y'all take care.
You too.
Yes, please do.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
All right, bye, everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Talk soon.